Vanga's predictions for 2026. The golden age of wealth will begin for these zodiac signs. 2026 will be the boundary between the old and new worlds. Decades ago, Baba Vanga saw in her visions a period when the energy of money would be reborn, and only the chosen ones would be able to enter the golden age. This year is not about random luck, but about a fateful turning point, when some will lose everything, while others will rise to heights they never even dreamed of. Her words about a time of fire that brings gold sound more prophetic today than ever. Now is the time to find out who will receive unprecedented wealth, financial power, and the opportunity to change their reality forever. This video is not just a prediction, but a warning and the key to your future prosperity. If you feel that this year could be decisive for you, stay tuned until the end, because one word from Vanga could change your path. Subscribe now so you don't miss your prophecy, and find out if you are one of the zodiac signs for whom the golden age of wealth will begin. Aries. The year 2026 will open up an incredible streak of opportunities for Aries, stretching from January to December, like a golden path paved with new chances. January will be the first sign of awakening. It is then that those born under the sign of Aries will feel that the world around them is beginning to respond to their efforts with almost magnetic precision. People who once did not believe in their projects will suddenly start looking for cooperation, and old acquaintances who seemed forgotten will unexpectedly return in the form of lucrative business connections. Aries should not put off decisive action from the first days of the year, because January will lay the foundation for a grand financial breakthrough that will manifest itself in the spring. In February, a new type of energy will emerge, not feverish, but purposeful. Aries, who previously scattered their forces, will begin to focus on one idea. It is during this period that deals may be made that seem small, but will bring large dividends in the second half of the year. Stability will appear in the financial sphere, and most importantly, inner confidence. People of this sign will understand that money is not just paper, but a resource of energy that they are able to control. Therefore, Aries should stop doubting themselves in February. Their decisions in business and investments will have a long-term effect. March will bring encounters that will change the balance in the financial sphere. Aries will find themselves in an environment where money moves fast. Where others see risk, Aries will see opportunity. It is important not to lose your cool. This month, fate will test your endurance, and those who learn to wait will be able to make the deals of a lifetime in April. It is in March that agreements will be laid down that will turn into contracts in April, opening the door to the world of big finance. April will be the peak of business activity. Aries will feel as if time itself is adjusting to their desires. Productivity will grow every day. Money will come not only through work, but also through ideas that they will begin to implement with inspiration. Creative representatives of this sign will see their creativity become a source of income. Business Aries will find partners willing to invest heavily in their ideas. Financial flows will become stable and consistent. But the most important thing is belief in one's own strength. April will teach Aries to manage money, not serve it. May is a time for rethinking. Luxury and status are no longer ends in themselves. Aries begin to realize that wealth has a deeper meaning. It is an opportunity to help, develop, and create. They will begin to invest in education, technology, and real estate, and these investments will bring unprecedented profits by the end of the year. May is a time when a new level of thinking is formed, where money becomes an instrument of influence. Aries will be able to broaden their horizons. Some will start their own business abroad. Others will receive a grant or contract that will raise them to the international arena. June will reward those who are not afraid to take risks. This month, doors will open to rapid financial flows. Aries working in technology, marketing, medicine, or the arts will see a sharp increase in income. For entrepreneurs, this period will be a time for signing large contracts. For employees, it will be a time for raises and bonuses. In the summer of 2026, money will literally flow into the hands of those Aries who trust their decisions. At the same time, their authority will grow, and even those who do not seek fame will find themselves in the spotlight. July will be a period of consolidation. The money that appeared in the spring now needs to be organized. Aries will start thinking about saving, buying land, building, and creating a family fund. This is a month of stabilization, when profits no longer cause euphoria, but become the norm. At the same time, July may bring a new circle of influential acquaintances. People who were previously unattainable will want to make contact themselves. Aries will begin to feel the true weight of their name. August will bring a moment of reckoning. Fate will seem to ask, is Aries capable of holding on to what they have gained? And this is where true strength of character will manifest itself. Those who can keep their emotions under control, resist the temptation of quick profits, and stay where they are will emerge from this month even richer. August teaches the wisdom of resource management, not the amount of money, but the quality of its use. September will bring a second wind. This is the time to expand the financial empire of Aries. They will realize that they are no longer just earning money, they are creating a system. Some will start their own companies, some will invest in innovation, and some will finally dare to implement an idea that has been on the shelf for a long time. September will give you the strength to enter the market of great opportunities. This is a month for strategists and thinkers. Aries who are not afraid to think big will become the true architects of their own financial future. October will bring surprises. That is when unexpected sources of income will bring results. Some will receive compensation or an inheritance, while others will find a partner to help them implement a new project. For most Aries, this will be a moment of triumph, when the efforts of the year merge into a single stream of success. But this month also warns, don't lose your humility. Excessive self-confidence can lead to hasty steps, so it is important to act calmly, with an awareness and judge of your own strength. November will be a period of reward. Those who have endured the stress of the summer will experience a financial breakthrough. At this time, long-awaited purchases may come to fruition: a house, a car, investments in your own company. But the main thing is the realization that wealth is not a coincidence, but the result of an inner transformation. Aries will understand that every penny earned in 2026 has a deep meaning, because behind it lies their courage, perseverance, and faith. December will sum up the year with a large financial balance. This is the month when Aries will be able to look back and see the scale of the path they have traveled. What once seemed unattainable will now become a reality. The money they have earned will no longer be tinged with fear or tension. It will become a symbol of harmony between action and result. Aries will enter a new cycle of life with a sense of strength, stability, and inner peace. In 2026, this sign will feel that the golden age of wealth is not a myth or a lucky coincidence. It is a pattern that they have been moving towards for years. Money will come through faith, work, and determination. But the real discovery of the year is the understanding that Aries' greatest asset is their will. And when that will is combined with action, the world has no choice but to submit. Taurus. For Taurus, 2026 will begin not with silence, but with an inner rumbling, a feeling as if the ground beneath their feet is beginning to breathe gold. January will be a moment of deep realization. The old patterns no longer work. People of this sign will feel that their finances are ready for renewal, but to do this, they will have to do something unusual, break out of their routine. Already at the beginning of the year, the universe will give clues through numbers, encounters, and random phrases. It is these small signals that will lead Taurus to a new financial path, unlike in previous years. January is a time for observation and taking the first precise step. February will create a wonderful feeling that money is starting to move on its own. Taurus, who once feared risk, will feel inner courage, and this courage will open the door to the first big profits. This month, it is important to listen to yourself. Even a small idea can grow into a business. February will teach you that financial success does not always come through logic. Sometimes it is born of intuition. For many, this will be a time when the opportunity arises to invest, buy a stake in a company, or make the first contribution to something new. It is then that Taurus will begin to transform matter into flow. March will open up the stage for a real breakthrough. During this period, there will be a meeting that will change the financial geometry of life. It could be a partner, an advisor, or a client, someone who sees Taurus as a leader capable of creating stability. Taurus, who has been building a reputation for years, will see that the time has come to reap the rewards. Money will come through projects that previously seemed slow. March is a month of deep breaths before takeoff. April will be a period of pressure. The pace will accelerate, and the universe will seem to say, "You are ready." At this time, financial doors will open in several directions at once. Taurus may receive several offers at once, and this is where it is important not to get confused. The choice should be based not on the amount of money, but on energy. The path that gives you an inner sense of confidence will bring real profit. April is also the month of the first big purchase of the year. Some will buy a house, some a car, and some their own freedom. May is the month of unlocking potential. For Taurus, this period will be a symbol of the blossoming of financial thinking. They will begin to think like strategists. Every step is calculated, every hryvnia has meaning. In May, Taurus becomes the architect of their own financial temple. Their calculations are accurate, their steps are confident. This is when the first investments in land, business, or valuable assets are possible. This is a time when profit no longer seems accidental. It becomes the result of a system built on experience. June plunges them into a new wave. Financial opportunities expand through social contacts. People Taurus meets become conduits to the world of big money. New ideas, collaborations, and offers arise. It is important not to close yourself off in your comfort zone. June throws up challenges. It teaches that sometimes wealth does not come from expected sources. Taurus, who can see the potential in new directions, will be able to double or even triple their income. This is the month of the brave. July will bring harmony between work and pleasure. Taurus will finally understand that true wealth is not only about numbers, but also about peace of mind. After a tense first half of the year, it will be time for stabilization. In July, Taurus will see the first big results. Money will start working for them. They will create a financial foundation that will allow them to relax without fear of loss. This month, The universe will push them to give themselves a gift, a trip, an investment in their own comfort or development. This is an act of respect for their work, which will open new energy doors for even greater prosperity. August is a month of tension and brilliance. During this period, fate will test Taurus's endurance. There will be a lot of money, but there will be those around who want a share of this success. It is important to be careful, not to sign dubious agreements, and not to trust everyone who smiles. However, it is precisely because of this tension that Taurus will learn the most important thing: to separate true partners from temporary ones. This is a period of purification, after which the financial flow will become even more powerful. September will bring a new way of thinking. Taurus will begin to think in terms of empires. Their business or career will reach the international level. There will be a feeling that financial stability is now not the limit, but the start. During this period, deals abroad, entry into new markets, and the purchase of real estate outside the country are possible. September will be a month of expansion. Taurus, who were previously cautious, will feel the excitement of creators within themselves. And this excitement does not burn out, but gives birth to strength. October brings the culmination of the year. This is the month when Taurus enters a phase of monetary dominance. Income levels stabilize at their highest point. People of this sign will begin to manage the finances of others as advisors, investors, or patrons. They no longer chase profits. Profits come to them. But October also has a spiritual subtext. The universe gives Taurus a choice, either to maintain balance or to become a hostage to greed. Those who realize the value of inner peace will enter a true golden age where money serves people, not the other way around. November brings unexpected changes in sources of income. New offers, new markets, and new technologies will appear. For those who work with intellect, analytics, and digital products, it will be an explosive month. Rewards for intellect will become greater than those for physical labor. Taurus will feel that their ideas have value, and that value is now calculated in money. November is also the month when financial systems created earlier will begin to generate profits automatically. Money works even when Taurus is resting. December is not just the end of the year, but a financial climax. It is the month when fate hands over the symbolic key to a new era. In December, Taurus receives a long-awaited sign, confirmation that all their efforts have not been in vain. Profits are growing, projects are going international, and Taurus's name is gaining weight in the professional environment. This is the time when stability turns into confidence. People of this sign feel that they are no longer dependent on external fluctuations. They have created their own financial reality. For Taurus, 2026 is a story of growth through wisdom. From a quiet beginning to a brilliant climax, they go from ordinary earnings to true mastery of the energy of money. They will learn to see money not as a goal, but as a mirror of their inner strength. Each month brings a new lesson: trust, strategy, action, patience, generosity. And when December completes the circle, Taurus no longer stands at the door, but in their own palace of abundance, where gold not only shines, it breathes with them. Gemini. When 2026 touches the lives of Gemini, it will not do so quietly. It will be as if the heavens have opened to let in a stream of events that will break old boundaries and usher in a new financial era. This year is not about stability, but about a breakthrough that will force you to move faster than ever from the very first days. January will start with a series of unexpected signals. Gemini will receive news that will open up prospects they never dared to dream of. These could be offers from old partners, invitations to projects, or internal inspiration that pushes them into new areas. January sets the main rule for the year: act immediately without hesitation. This is when the financial foundation is laid, which by the middle of the year will turn into a powerful platform for growth. February will be the month when Gemini begin to realize that fate is leading them to a place where words turn into money. Communications, contracts, negotiations, media, advertising, everything related to words will bring profit. Those involved in creative work will see their first big fees. Business people will begin to attract finance through unusual channels, for example, partnerships in other countries or online projects that expand their geographical reach. Money will come in waves in February. The main thing is not to grab everything at once, but to choose what has long-term potential. March will change the pace. At this time, fate will test your endurance. You may feel that financial growth has stopped, but this is just the calm before a new wave. It is in March that Gemini will have a chance to rethink their strategy. Those who manage to change their approach will reach a new level. This is a month of regrouping. It is worth paying attention to education, training, and learning new tools, because the knowledge gained now will turn into money in June. March is a moment of silence when the universe whispers, "Get ready." April bursts into the lives of Gemini like a flash. This is a period when the energy of words and thoughts becomes matter. Ideas born earlier will begin to bring profit. This month, deals with large companies or influential people are possible. Gemini will feel that their mind is the main tool for enrichment. Those who work in analytics, journalism, IT, or consulting will receive offers that can change their financial trajectory. April will open up the first real flow of money, but it will also point to the need for control. It is worth making sure that your earnings do not dissolve into small expenses. May is an explosion of activity. This is the month when Gemini not only earn money, but also create a financial system around themselves. At this time, they can start their own business, open an online store, media, or educational project. May is the month of networks and connections. Money will come through communities, teams, partnerships. It is worth looking for allies rather than acting alone. The financial flow will be so strong that even small projects will begin to grow. And although the pace is frantic, it is precisely this that forms the basis of wealth in the second half of the year. June will be a symbol of confirmation. Gemini will see that their efforts have not been in vain. Profits will stabilize, and projects will begin to run without daily supervision. This is a month when you need to focus not on quantity, but on quality. Money comes easily, but with it comes the temptation to spend. It is worth investing in stability, real estate, education, personal development. In June, Gemini will realize that financial success is not a flash in the pan, but a system, and they are creating this system themselves. July becomes a portal to a new reality. Events are accelerating. Sudden changes are possible this month. A new job, a move, the launch of a large-scale project. Gemini will start working with bigger numbers than ever before. Their ability to adapt will give them an advantage. Money will come from several sources at once. However, July requires reasonable caution. Anything that does not have a solid foundation may disappear as quickly as it appeared. This is a month for those who are able to maintain a balance between risk and logic. August will open a new phase of strength. At this time, Gemini will begin to see patterns in financial flows. They will sense when to act and when to wait. In August, intuition will be key. Those who sense the moment correctly will sign agreements that will bring long-term benefits. For entrepreneurs, this is a time for big decisions. You can scale your business or enter new markets. August provides an opportunity to create something that will bring profit for years to come. A brand, a platform, a name. September changes the atmosphere. A deep awareness of the value of stability emerges. After a dynamic summer, Gemini begin to seek not only money, but also peace of mind. This month, they may make a large purchase, a home, land, or business partnership. September is also a month of mental enrichment. Gemini will begin to think like strategists rather than players. Money is no longer seen as a goal, it becomes part of a plan that leads to freedom. October is a period of financial growth. Everything that was sown in the spring is now bearing fruit. This month, Gemini will find themselves in the spotlight. They will be asked for advice, entrusted with leadership, and offered investment options. Money flows their way without resistance. But October has its own law. Don't stop. If they stop at what they have achieved, the flow will decrease. Therefore, it is worth planning the next step right away, expanding the business, a new platform, scaling up influence. November brings an atmosphere of calm before a new leap forward. It is a month of deep analysis. Gemini review their path and see how much they have changed. Their finances are now under control, but most importantly, they become aware of their own power. Money no longer dictates terms, but obeys orders. At this time, it is possible to start charitable projects or support others. This is how the energy of money multiplies. November is a month of inner transformation, when Gemini become not just wealthy, but influential. December is the culmination of the year, bringing a sense of triumph. Gemini are at the top, but they can see even further. This is a time when fate opens new doors, large projects, large-scale investments, cooperation with international structures. Money comes faster than ever, but now it is not the main thing. The main thing is that people of this sign have become masters of reality. They have created a system in which ideas turn into gold. December reminds us that the true wealth of Gemini is not in bank accounts, but in the ability to turn thoughts into results. In 2026, Gemini will become the architects of a new financial world. They will not follow trends, but dictate them. Every month of this year will be a step away from ordinary life and toward a life of abundance, where money is not a goal, but a form of freedom. They will go through doubts, speed, risk, and victory to understand that the golden age of wealth does not come from outside, it is born within. And when Gemini learn to combine the brilliance of their minds with the precision of their actions, their financial possibilities will become limitless, like the sky itself, which will open up completely for them in 2026. Cancer. The night of December 31st to January 1st, 2026, will be strange for Cancer. Not festive, but deeply symbolic. Some will feel that the air has become denser, as if a different current has appeared in it. This is the moment when the old financial doors close forever, and a path that once seemed fantastic opens up for Cancers. Their year will not begin with hustle and bustle, but with inner insight. January is the month when everything around suddenly becomes a mirror. Fate reflects the work that has been going on for years. The efforts invested are returned in the form of cash flow, as if the universe has finally pressed the reward button. At this time, new customers, buyers, and even acquaintances may appear who unexpectedly offer lucrative cooperation. January gives the first signal. The big wave has already risen. February will move rapidly. Money will start to appear from unexpected places. Some Cancers will receive a bonus, others an unexpected promotion or a chance to change jobs. But the point is not the amounts, but the dynamics. The feeling that life has accelerated. Cancer, who is usually cautious, begins to feel excitement. This is not blind risk, but intuitive knowledge of when to act. February is a time to seize the moment, make deals, negotiate, and make decisions. It is important not to hesitate. Financial doors are open only to those who dare to enter. March will bring the first drama of the year. It may seem that money has suddenly stopped flowing, that profits have decreased. But it is in this silence that Cancer forms a new level of energy. March is a test of confidence. Those who keep faith in themselves will embark on an even more powerful trajectory. It is in this month that the universe tests Cancer's readiness for great wealth. Those who lose their way will be pushed aside by circumstances, but those who endure will see a revival of financial fire in April, not a spark, but a huge flame that will transform their lives. April will be an explosion of opportunities. It is a month of signing contracts, major deals, and opening businesses. Cancers working in real estate, construction, finance, or technology will see their profits grow exponentially. At this time, you can even take risks, but wisely. Every investment made in April will return threefold. Creative Cancers will receive recognition. Projects they have been working on for years will start to bring in money. In April, fate works quickly. Everything that is planned is realized with amazing accuracy. May will stop this frantic movement, but not for rest. This is the month of strategies. Cancers pause to realize the scale of the changes. Money is now available, but it is important to understand how to keep it. In May, it will transform from a simple sum into a system. It is worth making a plan, allocating expenses, and thinking about passive income. Cancers who invest in land, education, or new technologies will see results by the end of Chamoitsa, the year that will change their social status. This is a month of wise maturity, when instincts are reinforced by experience. June will be a mirror of decisions. Everything that was started earlier will begin to pay off. This is the month of harvest. Money will come quickly, like a river, but you should not lose your vigilance. It is in June that temptations arise: purchases, travel, excessive spending. The universe throws challenges at Cancer. Is he capable of managing wealth without allowing it to manage him? Those who maintain balance will enter July as masters of their own destiny. July is a month of recognition. Cancer's financial glory becomes obvious to others. They are noticed, invited, quoted. This is a month of high-profile projects, major public appearances, and media opportunities. For some Cancers, this will be an entry into the international arena, new contracts abroad, work with foreign partners, and their first big currency earnings. In July, they will feel that they are no longer competing, they are setting the pace. But you have to be careful. Where there is success, there is always envy. Not sharing all your plans is the rule of the month. August will bring a slowdown that will be scary at first. Income will stabilize, and the pace will slow down. But this is not a decline, but preparation for a leap forward. At this time, the universe seems to be holding Cancer back so that it can realize the scale of what it has achieved. August is the perfect time to rethink your strategy. You can close ineffective projects, pool resources, and form a team for the next stage. For many Cancers, this is the month when they will realize for the first time that they can work not for money, but to make money work for them. September will burst in like a storm. Money will start moving so fast that it will be difficult to control everything. During this period, the main thing is not to get lost in the flow. Cancers who are able to delegate some of their responsibilities will gain time and peace of mind. September is also a month of big financial decisions. Buying a business, investing in startups, creating new areas of activity. For many, this month will be the transition point from stable earnings to real capital. October is the period when Cancer's financial energy reaches its peak. Everything they have built grows in strength. Money comes from various sources, even those that seemed forgotten. This is a month of great results and new alliances. Cancers can create their own brand, company, or project that will bring together dozens of people. But the most important thing is the realization of their own worth. In October, Cancer stops doubting themselves. They see that their ideas transform matter and their actions create stability. November will open up a new dimension. It is not just a month of money, it is a month of power. Cancer begins to influence the financial processes around them. They are listened to, trusted, and looked up to. For many, this is the time when their names will appear in high circles. They become those who not only receive, but also set the rules. November is the crowning glory of professional maturity. During this period, offers of partnership with well-known people or companies are possible, and refusal would be a mistake. December is a moment of calm that smells of triumph. Cancers enter it no longer as dreamers, but as architects of their own financial destiny. They see that the whole year has unfolded like a huge chess game, where every move made sense. Now there is stability in their accounts and confidence in their hearts. But the main thing is inner freedom. Money is no longer a goal, but a means. Cancer is ready to share, invest, and create. It is in December that a new type of strength is born. Calm, quiet, but unbreakable. For Cancer, 2026 is a financial odyssey, where every month has its own drama and every day has its own meaning. From the first to the last month, fate unfolds a picture in which Cancer becomes the chief director of its own success. Wealth comes not as a reward, but as a logical consequence of their ability to see further, act subtly, and wait wisely. And when the December wind touches the windows, Cancer will know the golden age of wealth has not just arrived, it has begun within them, and it is already impossible to stop this flow. Leo. The beginning of 2026. For Leo will be like a sudden awakening after a long winter, not the one outside, but the one in the soul. The fire in the heart will flare up with new strength, and the world around will begin to change under its gaze. January does not give easy starts. It requires strength, concentration, and inner determination. This month, fate throws the first test. Is Leo ready to take control of their financial world? People of this sign will feel a powerful urge to act, even if the results are not yet visible. January is a foundation laid not with money, but with faith in one's own strength. February begins to spin events at an unprecedented speed. Leo, who has been gathering experience for years, suddenly finds himself in a whirlwind of offers, projects, and opportunities. The universe seems to be testing how much they can take. Anything is possible this month. An unexpected promotion, a win, a successful deal, or even a meeting with people who will open the door to a completely different financial reality. But there is one condition: to act without fear. February tests the speed of decisions. Every minute can cost profit or loss. For Leo, this month is a time when intuition is more important than logic. March will bring a feeling that the very air is saturated with cash flows. At this time, Leo becomes a magnet for opportunities. Their ideas are valued, their word carries weight, and their actions set the direction. This is a month of influence, when those around them begin to listen. For business people, this is a period when they can scale up their business and open up new areas. For employees, it is a chance to get a management position or a promotion. March teaches us that true wealth does not begin with a bank account, but with the ability to manage people, ideas, and trust. April begins a new phase, the practical one. After a bright start to the year, Leo faces the need to structure their income. There is more money, but with it comes responsibility. This month, demand for Leo as a specialist, leader, and inspirer grows. He is entrusted with large budgets and big decisions. April is the moment when you have to choose: stay in your comfort zone or go global. Those who are not afraid will get a result in May that will change everything. May is a month of revelation. Money, which came in waves, turns into a stream. Leo begins to realize that his name has become a brand in itself. People are willing to pay not only for the result, but also for his presence. For creative representatives of the sign, this is a breakthrough moment. Their work brings not only profit, but also recognition. For business people, it is a period when every decision turns to gold. In May, the universe opens the door to the Hall of Fame and Prosperity for Leo, but only for those who maintain their dignity and do not allow pride to cloud their minds. June will be the point where wealth turns into quality of life. Money is now not a goal, but a tool. Leo begins to invest in things that have value: education, land, business, family. During this period, the stability he has long sought appears. But with it comes the realization that the more you have, the more responsibility you have. June teaches discipline, planning, control, and consistency. This is the month when a true leader proves that they are capable not only of conquering, but also of maintaining. July is a time of glory. During this period, Leo becomes the face of success. Their authority grows, and even those who once doubted them recognize their superiority. But with attention come new challenges: pressure, envy, competition. Leo must remain dignified and keep a cool head. It is in July that his financial name and reputation, which will remain for a long time, are formed. For many, this is the month when they first realize that they have become influential not by chance, but through work that has spiritual meaning. August is the most powerful month of the year. This is the time when money comes to Leo effortlessly, as if his magnetic aura attracts wealth. Everything he touches flourishes. Business projects bring record profits, and investments yield fantastic results. But August also reminds us of balance. We must share, invest in others, and support those around us. Leos who learn generosity this month will be blessed with financial stability for many years to come. September brings new energy into play, deep, analytical energy. After a hot summer, it's time to reflect. Leo sees which strategies work and which don't. This is a month of rethinking financial architecture. Some projects will have to be let go to make room for new ones. During this period, the universe seems to be clearing the way. It is important for Leo not to cling to the past, even if it was profitable. September opens the door to large-scale financial ideas, ones that go beyond the country or continent. October is a month of stabilization and respect. People who did not believe before are now asking for advice. Leo becomes a financial guide for those around them. This is a time when they can start teaching others, creating their own school, consulting business, foundation, or even a platform for young professionals. Everything they give this month will return tenfold. Money comes through influence, not effort. October is a month of financial wisdom, when gold turns into authority. November brings a touch of unpredictability. At this time, sudden changes are possible, new opportunities, relocations, changes in partners. But it is these changes that will pave the way for even greater growth. Leo, who is not afraid of change, will be able to turn every situation to their advantage. This is the month when fate tests flexibility. Those who are able to make quick decisions will conclude deals that will bring stable income for years to come. November is a test of evolution. Will Leo remain king even when the throne wobbles? December will sum up the year majestically. It is not just the end of a cycle, it is a triumph. Leo will enter it with clarity, wealth, and confidence that he possesses not only money, but also time. December is the month when the opportunity arises to lay the foundation for the future imperial period. You can buy property, start a business, or create something that will live on after you. In December, Leo will finally realize that his golden age is not outside, it is inside, in his ability to turn any idea into a stream of energy that will never run out. 2026 will be a year of financial dominance for Leo. This is not just wealth. It is power based on respect, wisdom, and the ability to maintain balance. From the first month to the last, they will go through waves of decisions, temptations, and achievements, only to realize at the end of the year that power does not lie in gathering all the gold in the world, but in managing it without losing themselves. And when he looks in the mirror on a December night, he will see not just a person there, but a king who has created his own financial universe. Virgo. When the world enters 2026, Virgo will feel a strange calm before the big storm. But this is not a storm of destruction. It is a storm of renewal, when every cell in the body seems to respond to a new wave of cosmic rhythm. The usual order of events will begin to break down to create a new structure, more perfect, more accurate, more profitable. The golden age of wealth for Virgo will not appear suddenly. It will grow step by step, like a seed breaking through the soil after a long winter. And from the very first days of January, it will become clear that everything she has been doing for years is finally beginning to bear fruit. January will be the first test of endurance. This month, opportunities will arise that at first glance will seem minor, but will turn out to be crucial. Virgo, as an analyst and strategist, will feel that life is preparing a major financial breakthrough. Her discipline and precision are her main weapons. At this time, it is important not to doubt, not to put off action, until later. The universe seems to be saying, now or never. And those who start acting in January will see the first big results in the spring. February will reveal the first signs of financial luck. Money will start coming in from new sources, from old clients, former partners, and seemingly forgotten contacts. Everything that was once sown will return. February is a month of renewal, when old connections bring new benefits. But most importantly, Virgos will feel for the first time that financial flows are not subject to the market, but to their own decisions. They will not chase after money, they will create conditions in which it comes to them. March will change the rhythm, It is a time of big deals, signing contracts, and reviewing career paths. For many Virgos, a new field of activity will open up, something they have never done before, but which will feel right. During this period, an internal breakthrough will occur. The rational Virgo will allow herself to trust her intuition, and it is this intuition that will lead her to profits that exceed expectations. March reminds us that the greatest wealth is born when the mind and intuition work together. April will bring stability and, at the same time, new challenges. The money that has begun to appear needs to be organized. Virgo will begin to structure financial flows and look for optimal ways to invest. This month, the idea of starting your own business or project may come up, which will grow into a big deal. April is the month when Virgo moves from the category of executors to the category of owners. They feel power over matter and understand that stability is not a gift, but a consequence of their own systematic approach. May will take their financial history to a new level. If the previous months were preparation, now the real action begins. Virgos will feel that they can do more than they thought. They will take bold risks, make investments, and enter into partnerships. At this time, fate is generous to those who are not afraid to change direction. A sudden move, a new position, or even a different market of activity is possible. But all this leads to the main thing: financial awakening. May is the start of a new era of profits. June will come like a quiet storm, not chaotic, but majestic. Events will unfold in the right sequence. All financial flows will stabilize, and Virgo will begin to feel real power over money. This is the month when profits become constant rather than random. For entrepreneurs, this is a period of signing long-term contracts, and for employees, it is a period of stable income and the first large bonuses. In June, the feeling of struggle disappears and calmness appears. July will open the door to massive opportunities. The quiet period is replaced by dynamics. Virgo will begin to see that their work has global potential. International contacts, new clients, and investors will appear. For some, it will be a month of glory, recognition, publicity, and honorary awards. Money will grow again, but now it will come with prestige. July is the month when Virgo becomes an example for others. August will dramatically increase the intensity of events. Money will come in quickly, but expenses will also increase. This is a period of testing emotional stability. Virgo must not lose their cool. They will see many temptations, investments, offers, exciting projects, but only those who can choose not the most sensational, but the most sensible option will achieve a real breakthrough. August requires analysis and precision, because one wrong step can set you back. For the chosen ones, this month will be the breakthrough of the decade. September will restore balance. This is the time when the results become apparent. All financial flows created earlier will stabilize. Virgos will feel the confidence they lacked. They will stop chasing success. It will now come to them. September is also a period of wisdom. People of this sign will begin to help others, teach, and advise. Their experience becomes a valuable asset, and this exchange of energies opens up new levels of prosperity. October will come like a wave of inspiration. Virgo will begin to create not just a business, but an empire of meaning. This month, a large company, platform, or community may be launched. Money will begin to flow toward ideas, not just actions. Virgos will realize that real capital is not numbers, but influence. It is in October that they will transform from financial players into financial architects. November will be a point of internal transformation. Outward success no longer matters. Harmony is now the main thing. Money is no longer a problem. It is simply there. But Virgo feels that it is time to direct profits towards something greater: charity, development, education. This is a month of spiritual enrichment. And that is when a paradox occurs. The more she gives, the more she receives. November shows that the energy of money is limitless when you share it. December ends the year majestically. This is not the end, but the culmination of the journey. Virgo stands at the top of the financial pyramid she built herself, stone by stone, day by day. Money is now not just a resource, but the materialization of her inner order. She sees how everything around her has fallen into place: career, relationships, reputation, peace of mind. December gives a feeling of absolute control, when fate obeys not desires, but the accuracy of intentions. 2026 will be a year of total fulfillment for Virgo. It is not just financial success, it is the alchemy of stability, when an analytical mind and pure intention turn any idea into gold. From humble beginnings to a grand finale, she follows the path of a master who does not chase money, she shapes it. Each month brings a new stage of growth, each day, confirmation that the golden age has already arrived for Virgo. And when the last star of the year flashes in the December sky, Virgo will feel that now she does not just possess wealth, she has become it. Libra 2026 will enter the life of Libra like dawn after a long night, quietly, but with an imperceptible force that unfolds destiny in an unexpected direction. There will be no explosions or loud events at the start, just a strange feeling that something is changing in the very fabric of reality. This is not a year of struggle, but a year of restoring balance between what Libras give and what they receive. And starting in January, the universe will begin to give back 100-fold. January will be a month of awakening financial justice. Libras, who have worked for years without proper recognition, will see the first signs of change: raises, debt repayments, unexpected bonuses. This is the first signal from fate that the material flow has finally been unblocked. The main thing is not to stop. This month, it is worth taking decisions that previously seemed too bold: starting your own business, moving to a new company, or signing an investment agreement. January is the beginning of a revival of confidence in your own worth. February will bring movement. Money will start to flow faster, and every action will have an immediate return. During this period, Libras become particularly persuasive. Their word carries weight. Their ideas attract money. This is the month when finances come through communication, deals, partnerships, negotiations. For some, this is the month of their first serious earnings. For others, it is the moment when an amount they have never seen before appears in their account. February teaches us that the strength of Libra lies in words, in the ability to harmonize and persuade. March will begin to reveal the depth of internal transformation. Libras will feel that money is not only work, but also the energy they generate. Some representatives of the sign will realize that old approaches to work no longer work. This is the month when old financial patterns must be broken. Some will quit their jobs to create something of their own. Some will change professions, and some will change their way of thinking. March may be a little chaotic, but it is in this chaos that a new order is born. April will be full of events. It is a time of activity, deals, new acquaintances, and unexpected alliances. Financial growth will be rapid, but will require concentration. During this period, Libras may feel like they are in a whirlwind. Everything happens quickly, decisively, and often without pause. But it is precisely this pace that opens the door to great opportunities. April may see the key event of the year: signing a contract, buying a business, launching a project, or entering the international market. This month will transform Libras from dreamers into players ambitious in the financial arena. May becomes a month of stabilization. After the frenzied energy of April comes calm confidence. The money that has come in needs to be organized. Libras will begin to analyze what works and what needs to be changed. This is a month of plans, budgets, and strategies. It is then that they can create a system that will ensure stable profits until the end of the year. For some representatives, this is the moment when a hobby turns into a business and an idea turns into a source of steady income. May is not a bright month, but it is the one that determines the quality of wealth. June will bring a second wind. After several months of building, Libras will begin to see results. Money comes in steadily, clients trust them, and colleagues respect them. But this month is not about peace and quiet. It's a time for a breakthrough. Those who seize the moment can make a breakthrough that will change their lives. In June, it is important not to give up opportunities out of fear. This is a period when the universe seems to say, "Take more, you are ready." July will bring a bright financial flash. It may seem that fate has decided to reward you for years of patience. Contracts, bonuses, new projects, everything is multiplying. For creative Libras, this is a month of recognition, publications, awards, popularity. For business people, it is a time for scaling up. But along with the growth in profits comes the risk of overconfidence. July reminds us that the true strength of Libra is not in money, but in harmony. Those who manage to maintain balance will keep everything. August will test your patience. After several active months, there will be a slight slowdown. Profits are stable, but the pace is slowing down. This is a time to test your maturity. Libras should not panic or seek drama. Calmness is their main resource right now. August is a time for planning, investing, and saving. It is a month of preparation for an autumn breakthrough. Those who do not spend everything on impulsive desires will receive a huge reward from the universe in September. September is a month of prosperity. Money returns from all directions. Profits grow and opportunities multiply. Libras find themselves at the center of financial events. They are offered new roles, invited into partnerships, and consulted. This is a time of influence. September will show how far they have come in their development. They are no longer looking for stability, they are creating it. For many Libras, this month will symbolize their transition to a higher financial class. October will bring unexpected recognition. Fate rewards those who acted with faith without losing their balance. Money is no longer a problem, it is simply there. Libras will begin to think strategically, how to preserve and multiply what they have. Large investments in real estate, business, or long-term assets are possible. For some, this will be their first step into patronage or charity. October is a transition from material to symbolic wealth. November will bring new depth to life. After resounding achievements comes a moment of realization. Libras will begin to see how their example inspires others. This is a time when finances cease to be just a personal matter. They become an instrument of change. Perhaps someone will create a social project or assemble a team for a great mission. November opens up the highest level of abundance energy when wealth becomes a meaning, not just a goal. December wraps up the year in a big way. It's a time for taking stock, closing big deals, and launching new ideas. In December, Libras stand stronger than ever, financially independent, confident, influential. But most importantly, they have inner peace. They no longer chase money because they realize that money follows them. December brings the end of the cycle of struggle and the beginning of the cycle of domination. For Libras, 2026 is the year when harmony becomes currency. They stop looking for a balance between the spiritual and the material because they finally understand that one cannot exist without the other. This year, their every step, every thought, and every decision turns to gold. From January to December, they go from doubt to confidence, from instability to prosperity. And when the last day of the year closes the curtain on the sky, Libras will stand on the stage of life, calm, strong, wealthy, knowing that their golden age of wealth is just beginning. Scorpio 2026 will not enter the life of Scorpio. It will explode in it, like the awakening of an ancient force that has been sleeping under the thickness of time. This year will begin with a profound shift, when the world around will seem the same, but every breath will feel different. The energy of change will break through the familiar, destroying everything that is outdated. And it is in these ruins that Scorpio will find gold, real, material, concrete. Because 2026 will be the year when their ambitions begin to materialize with ruthless precision. January will open as an arena for those who are ready to act. Scorpio will wake up with the feeling that time is passing faster than usual. Old methods will lose their power, and everything that once seemed stable will begin to waver. But this is their advantage, because Scorpio was not born for peace, but for power over chaos. It is in January that they will feel that they can regain control over their finances, people, and destiny. This month, it is worth not being afraid of decisions. Every risk taken in January will bring huge profits in April. February will test their character. It will seem that financial flows have slowed down, but this is only an illusion. The universe is watching to see if Scorpio can withstand the calm before the storm. At this time, it is important not to give in to doubts. February is a month of behind-the-scenes power. Perhaps a secret partner will appear, an unexpected source of profit, or an offer that is difficult to evaluate at first. But it is this offer that will become the entry point to real wealth. February is a door that opens only once. March is a period of enlightenment. Scorpio will suddenly see that the threads of fate are intertwining in their hands. People, events, finances, everything will begin to synchronize. This is the time when intuition becomes the main financial tool. In March, large deals, inheritance, sudden profits, or the resolution of an old financial problem may appear. But most importantly, in March, Scorpio will begin to think not about money, but about power over it. And this is the first key to the golden age. April will bring activity similar to a flame. This month, money moves quickly, and people are eager to invest in his ideas. Scorpio can become the center of a financial magnetic field. He is trusted, and people are drawn to him. But April requires vigilance. Where there is money, there are always shadows. It is worth keeping secrets, not sharing everything, even with those closest to you. This is a month when every word can become currency and every silence a weapon. Those who learn to be silent will win. May will open the way to large-scale achievements. During this period, Scorpio may gain access to resources they have dreamed of for years. We are not just talking about money, we are talking about power, influence, and control. For entrepreneurs, this is the time to sign big contracts, and for those who work for someone else, this is the moment when their work will be recognized at the management level. May brings the energy of a winner, but it is dangerous. Excessive self-confidence can become a trap. It is important to remain calm, even when the world applauds. June will be a month of testing trust. Partners will appear who are ready to offer something big, but not everything will seem transparent. This is a period when Scorpios should use their strongest tool, intuition. If your inner voice whispers no, it is worth listening. But those who recognize the right connections will reap profits that can change their social status. In June, the first circle of stability will form, a financial springboard that will allow you to start large-scale projects in the fall. July will be a time of strengthening power. Scorpio begins to lead, no longer hiding in the shadows. Everyone feels their confidence, partners, competitors, even enemies. Money now comes not through effort, but through reputation. This is the month when the name Scorpio becomes a brand. But July also carries a subtle lesson. Power without control is destruction. It is important not to let pride turn into blindness. Those who remain attentive to details will triple their wealth. August will bring unexpected changes. There may be changes in partnerships, revisions of financial conditions, or even losses that will actually turn out to be liberating. This is a time when fate shuffles the cards to give Scorpio a better hand. It will be unsettling at first, but by the end of the month, doors to new sources of income will open. August is like a thunderstorm before a clear sky. Those who withstand the lightning will see golden shoots sprouting after the rain. September is the culmination of the year. Financial flows stabilize, profits grow, and confidence in tomorrow emerges. Scorpio will feel that they have finally reached the point where everything works. This is a period when they can create their own financial system, invest, establish a fund, expand their business. In September, even random events work in their favor. This is the month when fate itself puts the cards on the table and says, "You win." October will open a second wave of growth. Money will come in without delay, deals will be signed easily, and even risky steps will bring results. But at the same time, responsibility to others, subordinates, partners, family, appears. Scorpio will feel that their power is now not only personal, but also social. This is the month when they become the center of the system around which others revolve. November brings a moment of insight. After months of action comes the realization of scale. Scorpio sees how much has been done and understands that true wealth is not in numbers, but in influence. This month, there may be encounters with people who will become spiritual mentors or partners of yours on a new level. Money continues to flow in, but now it is not the main goal. It is a tool for creation. November is the month when Scorpio rises above matter to consciously control it. December ends the year with the grandeur of an empire. Scorpio stands at the top, looks down, and sees that the world belongs to him. This is not just wealth. It is a state of power over reality. Money is no longer needed as proof. It has become a natural extension of their power. December is a month of harmony between darkness and light, between action and calm. Everything that was once chaos is now subject to their will. For Scorpio, 2026 is a story of transformation, when the energy of power becomes the energy of gold. It is a path from control over oneself to control over the world. Each month of this year is a step towards one's own financial legend. January teaches you to see, February to wait, March to trust, April to act, May to possess, June to recognize, July to lead, August to experience, September to rise, October to stabilize, November to realize, and December to rule. And when this year ends, Scorpio will understand. The golden age of wealth is not a myth. It is real, and it bears his name. Sagittarius. It will all begin not with an event, but with a feeling, deep, anxious, but exalted. Sagittarius will enter 2026 with a premonition that the time has come to fulfill the promise he once made to himself. This is the year when his path ceases to be chaotic and turns into a trajectory of power, where every thought becomes a driving force, every action a profit. Money, power, fame, everything that was once distant is now within arm's reach. But 2026 will not be a gift. It will be a test of maturity, faith, and the ability to keep up. January will appear like a mirror. It will show Sagittarius who they have become after all their losses and victories. This month, fate will trigger a financial shift. Perhaps it will be an unexpected offer, a sudden call, or even an intuitive insight, something that will force them to change direction. The main thing is not to resist. January will open a new stage where money will not come in the usual way. It will appear through people, events, and signs that you need to be able to recognize. Those who trust the process will see the first dividends as early as February. February is the beginning of high-stakes games. Deals, offers, and collaborations will arise. Sagittarius, who is used to acting quickly, must now learn patience. Their strength in 2026 will not be in impulse, but in precision. This month will open up the first financial flows. Old projects will begin to bring in profits, and new ones will open up incredible opportunities. But at the same time, February warns that every coin has two sides. Where there is quick success, there may be temptation. It is important not to give in to euphoria. March will be a phase of profound change. Financial horizons are expanding, but at the same time, there is tension in the air. It may seem that the situation is getting out of control, but in fact, this is how the universe is forcing Sagittarius to take a leap of faith. This month, they will learn not just to earn money, but to manage its energy. For some, this will manifest itself in the creation of a business. For others, in a partnership that will turn their whole life upside down. March is a test of depth, and those who are not afraid of the darkness will find gold in it. April will usher in a time of explosive ideas. Sagittarius will feel inspiration that exceeds all limits. Their brain will work like an engine, generating dozens of concepts, projects, and ways to make a profit. During this period, even an ordinary conversation can be the beginning of a great undertaking. But April does not tolerate chaos. It is worth choosing one direction and investing in it completely. Success will come to those who do not get distracted. This is a month of action, when your financial destiny begins to crystallize into a real form. May is a month of stabilization after the storm. At this time, financial flows gain rhythm, and Sagittarius can catch their breath. Money is coming in, but now the main task is to keep it. It is worth thinking about investments, savings, and passive income. May is the moment when the material part begins to obey logic. This is a month of calm growth, when the most valuable thing is clarity of thought. In May, the first contours of the empire that he will build by the end of the year are formed. June will begin to shine with new prospects. This is a period when Sagittarius reaches a new level of perception of success. He understands that finances are not just the result of labor, but a form of energy. This month, new horizons open up. Perhaps a trip, a new market, or international cooperation. Money becomes flexible, coming from everywhere. June is freedom that must be accepted. Sagittarius must expand their thinking, and then financial boundaries will disappear. July turns into an arena of triumph. Events develop rapidly, and the financial flow grows exponentially. During this period, Sagittarius can achieve their greatest career or business success in recent years. But with it comes a test. Are they capable of maintaining harmony when everything around them is burning? July requires a clear mind. Excess energy must be directed into work, not rivalry. This is a month of winners, but not for everyone, only for those who have remained human. August will bring unexpected changes. Success that seemed guaranteed may suddenly slow down. Money will come, but not through effort, but through inner awareness. During this period, Sagittarius must learn to let go of control. August reminds us that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come in silence. This is a time of reassessment, purification, and gathering energy. And in September, this gathered strength will explode into new achievements. September is the culmination of the year. Financial fruits are ripening, and Sagittarius is experiencing the true taste of victory. This is a month of great flow, money, deals, agreements, investments. But with this comes a deep realization. Now he is not just earning money, he is managing the energy of abundance. In September, he becomes not a participant in the process, but its creator. For some, this is the month of buying their dream. For others, creating their own brand. But for everyone, it is a point of self-realization. October will bring a wave of fame. Sagittarius finds himself in the spotlight. His ideas, his work, his influence, everything becomes public. This is a period when even his presence attracts resources. But October also carries a subtle danger. Excessive light can blind. It is important to remember that true strength lies in calmness. This month is a time when you need to not only receive, but also give. Those who share their success will be blessed in November. November opens up a deeper dimension. After fame comes a moment of inner understanding, why all this happened. Sagittarius feels that the material is only a consequence of their faith. This month, financial flows become so stable that they no longer require control. Money works on its own. But most importantly, a new vision opens up. How to turn one's own success to the benefit of others. This is a month of great mission, when wealth becomes an instrument of good. December ends the year in splendor, but without fanfare. It is not festive fireworks, but the glow of deep inner peace. Sagittarius looks at his path and sees that every action, every risk, every moment of doubt, everything added sense. In December, he realizes that the golden age is not an external event, but a state of mind. Money is now not a goal, but the language spoken by the universe. It responds to his faith, his actions, his heart. 2026 will be a year of divine balance between desire and achievement for Sagittarius. From the chaos of January to the silence of December, he will walk the path of a hero who has learned not only to take, but also to create. His financial story this year is not just an upswing, but the birth of a power that no longer obeys circumstances. And when the last day of the year closes the cycle, Sagittarius will stand at the top, where the sky merges with the earth, holding in his hands not coins, but the very energy of wealth. Capricorn. For Capricorn, 2026 will begin not with light, but with silence, in which something great is maturing, as if a new metal is being born in the bowels of the earth. This is not a time of brilliance. It is a moment before a great shift, when fate seems to hold its breath. And it is in this silence that Capricorn will feel that the universe is finally repaying him for years of endurance, self-discipline, and work that no one has seen. 2026 is the year when his past efforts will materialize into a powerful financial wave that will lift him higher than ever before. January will not be like a normal start to the year. Capricorn will enter it with a sense of inner calling, as if someone invisible is leading them to a new frontier. At first glance, events will develop slowly, but it is during this month that the invisible foundations of future profits will be laid. People who happen to appear nearby, projects that are just beginning to take shape, and even ideas jotted down in the margins of a notebook. All of this will become the seeds of a huge harvest. January is a month when you shouldn't demand results. You just need to choose the right direction. February will begin to test your patience. The financial flow will move slowly, as if deliberately testing whether Capricorn is capable of not succumbing to doubts. But it is at this time that a key opportunity will arise: cooperation, a new client, or an inner understanding of your own true strength. February is the month for laying the foundation for future success. It is not actions that are important here, but determination and faith in your own system. It depends on this how solid the foundation will be for the coming months. March will come unexpectedly. Suddenly, what has been standing still for a long time will start moving. This month, the first financial window will open. Income may come from sources that have long seemed exhausted. For some, it will be the return of an old contract. For others, an unexpected offer that cannot be ignored. March teaches Capricorn to act quickly, without waiting for ideal conditions. Those who manage to take the plunge in time will feel their financial life change radically as early as April. April will be the moment when money starts to move powerfully. This is a month of decisions that will determine the coming years. There may be a choice between stability and risk, between safe profit and breakthrough. And although caution is second nature to Capricorns, this time, fate will require risk. April is the month when the universe challenges you. Are you ready to go beyond your fears? And those who dare will receive a reward that exceeds all expectations. May is a month of profound transformation. Money will start coming in large sums, but with it will come new responsibilities. Capricorns, who previously controlled every detail, will realize that scale requires delegation. This period will teach them to trust. It is important not to shut yourself off. The new allies who appear in May will not be temporary, but key figures for many years to come. This is the month when Capricorn begins to build not just a business, but a system of influence. June is an explosion of energy. Fate gives no respite. New contracts, deals, and opportunities come one after another. Capricorn may feel that they have finally found their rhythm. This is a period when profits become stable and influence becomes obvious. But at the same time, tension is also growing. You need to learn to filter offers, because not every opportunity will be beneficial. In June, the main thing is not quantity, but quality. July will bring a karmic test. There will be a temptation to break the rules, cut corners, or bypass someone. But this month does not forgive tricks. All decisions made in July will have long-term consequences. For those who remain honest and maintain a strategic vision, this will be a period of strengthening their positions and increasing their authority. For those who compromise their conscience, the financial system will begin to falter as early as August. July is a test of moral maturity. August will open a new level. Those who have withstood the test will be rewarded with promotions, investments, and successful deals. But along with wealth will come the dark side, responsibility. Capricorn will understand that money is not just energy, but pressure, weight, and power. This month will teach you how to manage large flows. If in June they learned to catch the wave, in August, they will learn to control the sea. September will bring calm and depth. Financial affairs will stabilize, but instead of euphoria, there will be silence. In this silence, Capricorns will begin to see a new perspective. There will be a desire not just to earn money, but to create something that will outlive him. This is a month of spiritual awareness. Capricorn will begin to invest in large projects, real estate, education, ecology, technology. His thinking shifts from profit to influence. September is when money becomes a tool for a mission. October is the time to reveal the results. Money is working, business is thriving, influence is spreading. But it is now that a feeling of fatigue may appear. October reminds us that excessive stress exhausts even the strongest. It is important to find a balance between work and life. During this period, fate gives you a choice: either move to a new level or get stuck in an endless cycle of obligations. Capricorns who allow themselves to rest and plan will experience a real breakthrough in November. November will begin with an event that will change everything. It could be a deal, a meeting, inspiration, something that will open the way to a new source of income. This month will see a financial shift that will raise Capricorn to a new level of prosperity. Their name will be heard in professional circles, their advice will be sought, and their experience will be cited. But most importantly, they will finally feel free. Money will cease to be a goal and become proof of their maturity. December ends the year majestically but calmly. It's not fireworks, it's dawn. In December, Capricorns will realize that 2026 didn't just bring them wealth, it rewrote the rules of the game. His thinking has changed forever. Now he sees the financial world as a chessboard where every move is strategic. This is a month of wisdom and completion, when he can afford to look back and see that every risk, every sleepless night, every decision made sense. 2026 will be a year of growth for Capricorn, reminiscent of a geological process, slow, deep, but unstoppable. It is a year when his efforts will turn into a structure as solid as stone and as shiny as gold. Each month leads them from invisible preparatory processes to a triumph that needs no fanfare. January teaches them to wait, March to act, May to build, August to lead, and November to reap. And when December comes, Capricorn will stand on top of his mountain, knowing that the golden age of wealth is not a mirage, but the result of his own will. Aquarius 2026 will not come to Aquarius in the usual way. It will break through events that at first glance do not make sense, and turn everything upside down. Financial habits, values, even the very idea of success. For Aquarius, this year will be a period when the invisible mechanisms of fate will begin to work with mathematical precision, leading to doors whose existence he did not even suspect. Money, ideas, influence, everything will begin to come together in a flow similar to an electric discharge. January will be the first impulse that will trigger this transformation. It will seem as if time has accelerated, as if every second has begun to matter. For Aquarius, who is used to thinking broadly, this will be a period of discovery. He will see that money can be created not only by action, but also by ideas. This month, a project or concept will be born that will be key for the whole year. There is no time to delay. January lays the foundation, and if it is not strengthened in time, the flow will pass you by. This is a month of breakthroughs for those who act in spite of their fears. February will reveal the first results. Money will begin to move through new channels, not always direct, sometimes unexpected. People may appear who bring opportunities, but do not immediately reveal their true intentions. This is a time when intuition is your main advisor. It is important not to make decisions based on logic. In February, only premonitions work. Aquarius will feel that finances have become more flexible. Money comes and goes faster, but its amount is growing. February is a financial wind that must be caught, so that in March it turns into a storm of prosperity. March is a month of growth. Aquarius will feel that they are riding the crest of a wave, and now the main thing is not to be afraid of its size. New deals, clients, and unexpected alliances will arise. This is a time when the universe throws up not just money, but opportunities that change the scale of thinking. For creative Aquarians, it is a moment of recognition. For entrepreneurs, it is a time of expansion. The main thing is not to close yourself off in your old circle, because March broadens horizons. It is worth doing what previously seemed impossible, opening up new directions, going beyond the market, speaking boldly. April will be a point of intensity. Money comes, but it also disappears quickly. This month, the financial flow behaves like a living being. It reacts to emotions, thoughts, and even fear. It is worth keeping a cool head and a warm heart. Sudden deals, investments, and large purchases are possible. Some Aquarians will realize that they are earning more than they dreamed of, but they do not yet know how to maintain this flow. April is a training ground for willpower, because only discipline separates true success from short-lived brilliance. May will change the dynamics. The pace will slow down, and it will seem as if fate has taken a break. But this is only a transition to a new phase. It is in this silence that Aquarius can see that real resources are not only external, but also internal. May is a time of financial rethinking. People of this sign will begin to understand that wealth is not just a bank account, but the ability to manage the energy of reality. Perhaps this month, Aquarius will invest in themselves, in learning, development, and team building. And this investment will be a turning point. June is a month of change. Everything that seemed stable will suddenly start to move. Money may come in large amounts, but at the same time there will be a temptation to act chaotically. This is a period of risk when it is important to maintain control. In June, the universe seems to be pushing. Trust the process, but don't give up on logic. Aquarius must combine two worlds, the spiritual and the material, and only then will they be able to multiply their profits several times over. In June, a feeling of financial flow that obeys the will is born. July will bring the first sense of power. At this time, Aquarius will see how their name begins to work on its own. This is a month of authority. Their ideas are accepted, their vision is appreciated, and their decisions are considered law. Financial matters reach their climax, but with this comes pressure. People will begin to expect more from them. July teaches the main thing. Real power is not in money, but in peace. Those who can maintain inner balance amid abundance will emerge from this month even stronger. August will be a phase of purification. There will be money, but fate will force them to let go of something superfluous. A project, a partner, an idea. At first glance, these are losses, but in reality, they are a cleansing of your financial space. August will prepare Aquarius for a big leap in the fall. At this time, it is important not to fight events, but to accept them, because fate itself removes the old layers. This is a month when the wise see more than others, and instead of panicking, give thanks, because it is liberation that creates space for new profits. September will open up a flow of incredible power. This is a period when all the threads that were scattered earlier are woven into a single structure. Money will start to come easily, connections will expand, and new people will seek contact themselves. At this time, Aquarius begins to feel not just a participant, but a creator of processes. Their financial strategy becomes flawless. September is the peak of clarity, when the vision of the future becomes so clear that it begins to materialize in the real world. October will test their self-confidence. Sudden changes in the market, new rules of the game, external pressure. All this can create the illusion of instability, but it is only an illusion. During this period, Aquarius must trust their decisions. If they stay the course, November will be a moment of reward. October is a test of maturity. Are they ready to control the storm they have created? This is the month when fate looks them straight in the eye and asks, "Do you really believe in your own strength?" November will bring a fireworks display of success. This is the month when financial heights become accessible. At this time, Aquarius gets everything: new contracts, big profits, influence, stability. But even more important, awareness comes. In November, he will understand that money is no longer the goal. It has become a consequence of the harmony between his mind and the universe. This is a period when even random decisions work in his favor. December will end the year as a hymn to fulfillment. No chaos, just calm confidence. Money, projects, partners, everything works like clockwork. But at the same time, something else will appear. A deep feeling that it is time to pass on knowledge, share energy, and create something more than just a business. December is the peak, but also the beginning of a new phase when Aquarius becomes a mentor, a source of strength for others. 2026. For Aquarius is not just a financial breakthrough. It is the moment when they cease to be a participant in events and become the architect of reality. January gives momentum, March gives rise, June gives control, September gives triumph, November gives glory. And as the year comes to an end, Aquarius realizes that his golden age is not a period, but a state where everything he touches begins to shine. Pisces. In 2026, Pisces will not just change their lives, they will change the very formula of their interaction with the world. This year will open up a powerful financial channel for them, which was previously blocked by fears, doubts, and excessive empathy. Everything that held back their material power will disappear, as if dissolved in water. The universe will press the activation button, and money, ideas, and opportunities will begin to flow to them as naturally as a river flows to the ocean. But in order for this flow not to be wasted, Pisces must learn to keep it on track, consciously, clearly, and wisely. January will greet them with a calm that deceptively resembles stagnation. Pisces, as always, will sense subtle changes in the world's energy, even before they become apparent. This month, it is worth trusting your inner impulses, even if they seem illogical. Right now, the main idea of the year is being born, the one that will become the basis for future financial success. It could be a new business direction, a creative project, or just a thought jotted down on a piece of paper. January is a month of intuition, and only those Pisces who listen to it will see the first real fruits in February. February will be the month of the first mirrors. Fate will begin to show Pisces a reflection of their intentions. Everything they sow, with thoughts, words, or actions, will return multiplied several times over. This is a month of rapid karmic payback. Some will receive a sudden financial blessing, a lucrative offer, a bonus, or a new contract. Others will see that old obligations need to be settled. In February, decisions cannot be avoided. Every delay will be costly. The universe is testing Pisces' readiness to accept large flows. March will explode like a wave. This month will bring powerful movement, meetings, events, information, people, deals. Everything will start to accelerate, and that is when the chance that will determine the whole year will appear. It may seem that events are happening too quickly, but this is only an external illusion. For Pisces, time in March becomes elastic. They are able to see ahead, to anticipate where to invest their energy and resources. March is a wave that must be ridden. If Pisces trust the flow, it will carry them to the shores of great success in April. April is the month of materialization. Everything that seemed like a dream will begin to take shape. Money will come from where it was not expected. An unexpected financial offer or deal may come along that will change your social status. For some, it will be the purchase of real estate. For others, a large contract. And for others, the start of a business that will become an empire. April is the month when money starts working for Pisces. For the first time, they will feel that there is no need to chase profits. It is enough to create a space where they are born on their own. May will bring peace and order. After the storm of events comes clarity. Pisces will begin to analyze what exactly brought them to this level, and will understand that the main resource is not money, but harmony. During this period, the universe seems to offer a break to see if they are ready for even more. This is a month of stabilization, when it is important to maintain a balance between the spiritual and the material. For some Pisces, May will be a month of inner cleansing. They will give up unnecessary connections, unnecessary expenses, and old illusions. And it is this clarity that will open the way to June's wave of prosperity. June is a moment of uplift. Financial flows are growing again, but now they are manageable. Pisces will begin to understand how the energy of money is created. Their work, ideas, creativity, everything is bearing fruit. For some, this is a month of public recognition. For others, big sales or promotions. But the real power of June is in its scale. This is a time when it is worth thinking not in terms of weeks, but decades. Pisces see further than others. And if they dare to take a big step in June, fate will reward them with incredible generosity in July. July is a period of financial discovery. Everything grows exponentially. Connections, income, influence. But with this come shadows, envy, temptation, doubt. This month requires wisdom. Pisces must remember that power attracts not only light, but also darkness. It is worth acting strategically, avoiding conflicts, and not revealing all your cards. July reminds us that true greatness lies in silence, and it is in silence that August's stability is born. August is a month of profound transformation. On the surface, everything is calm, but something grand is happening deep down. During this period, Pisces may feel the need to change their scale, to leave their old job, change their environment, invest in something new, and that will be the right thing to do. August is a time when the universe opens up a new financial level, but to do so, you need to let go of the past. Every bold decision this month will bring unexpected profits in October. September will bear fruit, money flows evenly, deals are made effortlessly, and the trust of partners grows. This is a month of stable growth when there is no need to force anything. Everything happens naturally. But it is during this period that Pisces will begin to realize that financial success has changed not only their situation, but also themselves. They have become stronger, more decisive, and calmer. September is a month of self-respect, when Pisces realize that they are no longer just going with the flow, they are creating a channel for others. October will open a phase of expansion. New acquaintances, scaling of projects, entry into the international arena. This is a time when even a small idea can turn into a source of big money. October offers a chance to create something global, a brand, a community, a system. And most importantly, Pisces finally realize that their gentleness and compassion are not weaknesses, but their main strength, capable of bringing success. This month, many of them will become mentors to others, which will further strengthen their financial flow. November will be like a shower of opportunities. Everything they touch will bring results. Money will multiply, connections will strengthen, and reputations will shine. But November also reminds us that wealth is a test. During this period, you need to be able to distinguish the real from the temporary. Not all allies are honest. Not all offers are profitable. It is important to act intuitively and without haste. Then financial stability will not be a peak, but a platform for an even greater rise in December. December will close the year with magical precision. Pisces will enter a state of absolute control over reality. They no longer doubt themselves or waste energy. They know exactly what they want. Money now comes not as a reward, but as a natural part of life. Pisces end the year with fulfillment, financial, emotional, and spiritual. But most importantly, they are starting a new era. Their flow is open, and now no force can stop it. 2026 is a year of enlightenment and triumph for Pisces. They are not just getting rich, they are changing the energy of the very concept of success. From a subtle premonition in January to complete control over financial flows in December, this year transforms them into masters of abundance. And when the last month of the year brings silence, Pisces will understand that the golden age of wealth does not come from outside. It is born within those who have learned to trust the flow and control it.